The Pentax Super Takumar 55mm F1.8 is a legendary vintage prime lens from the 1960s. It uses the M42 screw mount, making it an exceptionally popular choice to adapt to modern mirrorless or digital systems. Known for its excellent mechanical build quality, smooth handling, and unique optical character, it remains one of the most accessible legacy lenses to adapt to modern mirrorless systems. The minimum focus distance of 45 centimeters is top tier for a standard vintage prime lens. Getting this close physically collapses your depth of field and allows for greater creative opportunities. Combine this with the 55mm focal length and f1.8 aperture to capture beautiful soft backgrounds. Minimum focus distance and a small hack. It is possible to 3D print a small spacer. I used a 1mm thickness to start. Or just experiment. Insert the spacer between the lens and adapter to get a closer minimum focus distance. Works on the same principle as a macro extension tube, but much smaller. Originally intended for telescope operation, but the same idea applies here. Easy project, just a spacer and no threads. With this hack, you will lose focus to infinity and have a much narrower depth of field. So the goal is for a more artistic result. If you don't have access to a printer, some local libraries offer the service free. The 3D print file is linked in the video description. Caution is advised. Not recommended to use more than a 2mm spacer, as your lens will not attach securely to the adapter. Seems there is always harsh light in southern Nevada, so I always shoot with a circular polarizer. I typically get a few budget ones on sale and spend less than $10 each, and basically started to use them as a second lens cap. Quite surprising how blue the sky can be with this cheap option. Shooting with RAW files captures more details from the clouds, but just a bit more work when it comes time for processing. The typical CPL filter will also block up to 2 stops of light, which is another benefit for my style. Just something to keep in mind when choosing your exposure settings. Thanks for watching. And all comments welcome. Like, subscribe, share, also appreciated.